make sure you have something to catch all this sawed up wood. Please do. Alright, y'all. So you can see I have a hole in the floor. Just make sure you put something underneath, so when you're going through the flooring for this ventilation, whatever dust it puts off, it falls right directly on something, a bucket or something. Alright, you guys. So I promised myself that I would not leave out even the smallest detail of this video, because what we may consider minute, considering the amount of work you have to do to install the wood stove, these simple things may be major to somebody else. So currently I am making a inlet, or extending my inlet for my stove. Man, I have to pull that off soon and vacuum that out. So I would recommend that you get yourself a tape measure when doing this project. My greasing the whole idea didn't work. What I did was I put some grease, you can see grease here, around, and got a piece of paper, pressed it on there, and got the circle. The problem is, when I went to the store and I would try to get the pipe to put over it, it would completely cover the hole, so I didn't know how close it was on the inside. I didn't know if the circle was close, like a tight fit, or if it was like all the way in. So it's probably best to get a tape measure and measure it, and this from end to end, measured exactly exactly 3 inches. So first thing I did was I had to make the hole. No, I'm sorry. First thing I did was I actually got the wrong piping. I got the 4-inch piping, and then on my way back from Tractor Supply, because I was in between two stores, I had to go to Home Depot because I forgot I needed a hole saw. Thankfully I stopped because I was going to use my jigsaw, but I decided to get the hole saw. It's quite expensive for me. But I picked up the 3.5 millimeter. No, that's 89 millimeters, and 3.5 inches, or 3.5 hole saw, and I picked up the 4.5 hole saw. So I had 2 of them, and whichever one didn't work or was too big, according to what this hose would fit. Because at Tractor Supply, when they only had the 4-inch, and then I stopped and got a 3-inch. So they do have some wood stoves that measure on the back 4 inches, but thankfully mine's measured 3. So I decided to get the 3.5 inch. So because this is 3 inches, and you just saw I measured the back of the stove 3 inches, my assumption was this would not fit, but thankfully it fits right on there. It's real snug, but it fits on there. So I didn't have to get a 4-inch pipe, and mine is 25 feet because I'm gonna snake it through in the basement. I don't want to just pull an air directly from here, because I want to snake it through. And also I have a clamp. These are just some old car clamps. I never throw away anything, so I have a whole bunch of these in different measurements I'm going to put on the end of here, clamp it on the back of the wood stove. And I also decided to pick up a filter. Because my basement, I do a lot of work down there. You guys see I'm building transmissions and all that. And sometimes there's a little bit of a dust. It also has some stay dry in the corner. Cat litter, whatever it is. And sometimes it's a little bit of, it's more dust down in the basement. So I don't want it pulling up any kind of dust. I tried just blowing through this, because the wood stove doesn't create like a vacuum pressure. It's just a slight pull. So I didn't want anything too dense. So this, and they actually have a bigger size too. I guess it would fit perfect on the 4-inch. I picked up from Tractor Supply. So this I picked up from Tractor Supply, and also some fire bricks. Sorry. Paper in there because one of my bricks is cracked. So I'm going to take the 2 pieces out, the cracked piece and this, set them on top of the new bricks and mark it out, because you see this one is at an angle, and cut through that. But I'm going to attach this piece with a clamp. Then I'm going to route it in the basement, figure out how far along I want to run this, attach the filter on there. I can use zip tie as long as it's not close to the wood stove. I want to use this metal or whatever it is, aluminum, anywhere close to the wood stove. And also I'm going to use some zip ties to kind of like keep the tension off of it. So you're going to see once I get it bolted up on the wood stove, and it kind of zip tie the hole to not let it fall all the way down, to keep some tension off the neck of this. Yeah, keep some slack. Alright, so one tip before I forget, because I already did this and I forgot what I did. Whenever you're going to make a hole in here, there's beams that support the flooring. So what I did was I got a regular drill bit without the hole saw, made a hole, then I took the drill out, got a long piece of like clothes hanger, unfold it, push it through the hole, and see, and so I could see where it came out in the basement, to know if I needed to go a little bit right, a little bit left, how close was the beam. Thankfully, when I drilled it out, I was perfectly in between the beams. But you want to start off with a small drill bit first before you just go haywire and start using this thing, so you don't have like a whole bunch of holes, because maybe you start with this and realize you're hitting a beam. So yeah, start off with a regular drill bit without all this on here. Drill a small hole and push something through there so you can see where it comes out. Like I said, I had a clothes hanger. I went down in the basement to see where it came out, and once it was like centered, then I used the hole saw, because you don't want to get this far and have to mess up one of your beams. All right. Yeah, somebody upstairs. So I have 25 foot of this. I'm just going to pull it all the way through and run it all the way across. I want the cold air coming from in the middle of the basement. Pull as much dense cold air as possible. And I'm going to put the filter on the end here. So I'm just going to pull this all the way through, then I'll come back. Alright, y'all. So I have it pulled all the way through. It's nice and tight on there. Still has a little bit of play, a little bit of wiggle. I thought initially that this hose is just going to fall through the hole. So my plan was to zip tie around it and leave some ears hanging off, like zip tie it, and then have each end hanging off 2 zip ties, and let it sit on the zip ties. So the zip ties, when I put it around, the excess would hang off, and that would hold it. But these seem to be working quite fine. So as you can see, I have it all the way. It's coming from all the way there is 25 feet, and it's running. And it's all about how you want to pipe it. All about how you want to lay the pipe. I want to lay the pipe right, so. And then I'm going to finish it up with the filter and the zip tie. So I'm going to figure out the best way for me to run this pipe. It's kind of sitting on my hot water piping and stuff, but I'm going to probably zip tie it a little bit off of them. And I got to put back the insulation in the roof. So I'm going to finish those up, then be back. Alright, so I think I've found the best route. It's showing a little bit under here. I'm not sure what the hell this is. Looked like they were doing some H-vac, or they had some previously. I could have drilled through the joist, but I'm not doing all that. I'm satisfied with that. I'm not gonna bump my head. Maybe in the future I'll try to hide it a little bit more. I don't have the most well-kept basement. That's gonna be when I start being more indoors. Every winter when I'm locked in the house, I try to do a little bit more, but for the most part, it comes down. I put the insulation back up as much as I could, had it ran. So like I said, for the most part, and I got a thermometer. It says burn indicator, and it's magnetic. It's still in the packet. I need to take it out. Sticks to everything. There you go. Installed. Wish everything was that damn easy. Oh man, so looks pretty decent, man. Looks really nice. Real nice. Looks like I know what I'm doing. So only time will tell once it starts pulling in air. And then I have the blower on there. I'm going to get an extension to plug that up to. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, man. One love. Stay up, stay blessed, stay strong. Hoorah!